Hello everyone, welcome back to Castaway Camping. This time I'm introducing a place that probably needs very little introduction. It's the tip of Australia, the northernmost point of the continent, the tip of Cape York, or put affectionately, the tip. Unfortunately, this is going to be the finale of our little Cape York series, but rest assured that we are going out with a bang. Making this video is pretty special for me because I was watching the footage back and got to wondering if I would ever see the tip of Cape York like that again, with not a soul around. The truth is, probably not. So my word of warning for people who haven't been to the tip of Cape York before is that it may not be as deserted as this. For people who have been to the tip of Cape York before, it's worth having a look because this is what it looks like in full tourist season with no tourists. Something I really can't stress enough from this video is even after having done the tip, taken my photo, I would go back to that region just to camp in a heartbeat because some of the places we pitched up were epic. There's super picturesque coastal drives and so much to do. So stick around, let's do it. First, we had some unfinished business from the last episode. This is what happens when one of your long life milks explodes in your drawer. So we had to find a solution for that quick.
So we're at BP Bamaga.
That's what happens when you get a drawer full of maggots. Don't really know if this is helping or not. So backtrack to the Bamaga servo right now. We've just washed out and scrubbed out with water the drawer from the back of Lenny, and Maddie's been over here scrubbing out underneath the vinyl floor cover on Lenny. This is where the milk basically is in the front of the drawer, then seeped down into here, past all the carpet, over this lip, and then underneath the vinyl, and then we finally saw it on the side step. So the whole car kind of smells like sour milk now.
Hopefully it's better now.
Should be right now. Thank God for a couple of public use taps at the servo in Bamaga. Once that was sorted, our next port of call was the famous Croc Tent. If you're a fan of tacky Cape souvenirs, like us, you'll need to stop in. Next, we had some decisions to make on where we would spend the night. We dropped into Punsan Bay, a full facilities resort with camping available. We weren't quite decided on whether we would stay here or the nearby Runga Point, which was a beachfront free camp. Either way, we dropped in for a look and it was pretty cool to see the tip from the beach out the front. We're going to go and check out Runga Point first. It's where we initially had on our itinerary to stay. We're feeling a bit smelly after a long time of tenting in now. Our sheets and our towels and all that sort of stuff, we'd like to throw all that in the wash. And we'd like to have a shower. So we're just tossing up whether we're going to stay at Runga Point, which is only a couple of k's this way, and just use the facilities, pay to use them, or whether we're going to stay there. So we'll see. Only a few kilometres separate Punsan Bay and Runga Point. The track is definitely four-wheel drive only, but it's not too difficult if you've got the car for it. And at this point, our decision was made for us. Absolute beachfront, perfect shady sites. So we quickly pitched up a tent to claim a spot, and we ducked back to Punsan Bay to spend $5 on laundry and a shower. Money well spent. We've arrived at Runga Point. We just had our first shower at Punsan Bay since we left Cairns. So we've had little kind of solar showers along the way which kept us going, but nothing to actually make you feel properly clean. So that was the first shower we've had since then. We paid them $5 for a shower even though we're not staying there. We kind of wanted to keep bush camping keep seeing some of the spots that we wanted to explore, like Runga Point, and it has paid off because I wanted to see this place. I thought it looked really, really cool, and check it out. Tied in or tied out, this place was magic. We pitched up and called it a night and got ready for the tip in the morning. We're about to go to the tip. We're setting off from Runga Point this morning. It's a beautiful campsite here, it's so lovely. Tide's out at the moment, so we're thinking it's a good time to go and do the walk to the tip because everyone suggests that you should do it at low tide. And there's about an hour left to drop, so when you get there it should be pretty much peak low. Yeah, so we're pretty pumped. It's a nice weather day by the looks. I mean, touch wood that it doesn't come over grey while we're there, but if it stays like this while we're at the tip, it'll be lovely. Yeah, and then we've got this to retire to when we get back, so I'm pretty stoked about this spot. It's lovely, got views across the Torres Strait, and it's nice to have a spot where the tide sort of goes out a long way and then comes back again. It keeps things interesting with your view throughout the day. So that island over there is called Possession Island, and that's where Captain James Cook first took possession of what he called New Wales at the time, or Australia. There's a monument on it, except we don't have a boat to get over there, of course. But yeah, if you do have a boat, you can go and see that, and it's a national park, so you can get off and walk around and explore. And so began our trip to Pajinka, or the tip. So we've made it to the car park for the tip. We kind of came at whatever hour because we've seen so few people anywhere so far, so we're like, oh, we won't get up too early, we'll just roll in at a normal time. And we paid the price. There is about 6 other cars here. So I guess some people that came on normal KPUs in the past would probably say, that's really lucky, you're doing well, 6 cars, that's nothing, but I don't know, we just thought maybe we could score it to ourselves, maybe we were wrong. The walk looks a lot like this the whole way, and it's a walk where the view just keeps getting better and better as you get closer to the tip. We got a bit of a rush to see that we were closer to Port Moresby than we were to Cairns. Excuse the shaky filming, it was only blowing about 1 million knots at the time. Over one last ridge, and there it was. Not a soul inside. All to ourselves. We sat on the rocks for about an hour, lapping up the incredible colours and watching the electric blue water rush through the channel. It was pretty special. We've got fish wraps for lunch. This is the situation right now. We've just been to the tip. We've come back for lunch. I've got some grassy sweet lip here, filleted up, that I caught just the other day over at Mutty Heads. We're gonna cook that up with some lemon, herb and garlic, just sprinkled on, and we're gonna make fish wraps out of it on these like lime and chili wraps that we've got, and it's gonna be schmick. And I was right, it was. With an Arvo nap on the cards after this, what a day. So we're here at Punsan for sunset. We've come to get a couple of drinks and watch the sun go down. Looks pretty specky, we've sat right on the beach, but we are absolutely devastated because there's no pizza.
That's what we came for.
Yeah. Everyone's told us about how amazing the pizzas are here, like the wood-fired pizzas. It's what everyone talks about, anyone who's been will tell you. And there was a sign at the front of Punsan as we came in saying, wood-fired pizzas off until further notice. I spoke to the guy behind the bar about it, saying, oh, is it just because of COVID and all that sort of stuff? And he said, no, it's just a staffing thing for the next couple of weeks. The owners are going away and we just haven't got enough people to run the wood-fired pizza oven, so that means it's going to be up in a couple of weeks again. So we've just picked the sweet spot where there's no pizzas. spewing. Anyway, can't complain too much when it looks like this. What better way to cap off an incredible day? After dark, we ducked back to camp and made a queenfish curry before hitting the hay. This morning, we set off to do a coastal drive called the Five Beaches Track. As the name suggests, it takes you along 5 beautiful beaches on the eastern side of Cape York. We had so much fun doing this track and the scenery was incredible. There's some epic places to camp over here too if the winds are down, but as you'll see in a minute, they won't. This place was called Fly Point, and the tidal overfalls here were like nothing I had ever seen. Basically, tidal overfalls are where the wind and the tide work against each other and stand the waves up. It was a washing machine. Fly Point also had some beautiful views into the sheltered waters of Somerset Passage, which splits in between the mainland and Albany Island. Just around the corner from the rugged Fly Point was this idyllic beach at the old ruins of Somerset. Next, the 5 beaches began. Even on a windy day like this drive was beautiful. And it was quite easy too, minus a few surprises. Surprise rocks.
Surprise rocks!
The scenery was something else. The beaches were like surf beaches from down south, only the dirt was red, there was massive termite mounds and groves of pandanus. Just when you think you've seen Cape York, it throws another incredible landscape at you. What's cooking?
We got lamb roast with some red wine and some garlic and herbs in there. Gonna put potatoes and stuff in soon.
Terrible place to be doing it. Had last night in the Northern Peninsula area, last night at the tip, last night on the Straits. Why has it got to do us like this? Probably the most incredible sunset we've had on the entire trip since when we're about to leave. All packed up and leaving the Northern Peninsula area today. Going back south over the Jardine River. What a sad time. This is the view that we were left with over the Torres Straits. It's going to be sad to leave this. We've had the best time camping in the Northern Peninsula area. The bush camping up here is fantastic. The permits to do that are included in your Jardine River ferry ticket. And look, it's just so worth it because there's a couple of paid options up here, like some paid campgrounds on the beach, like Punsand Bay, Allow Beach, Loyalty Beach, and they're all amazing too. Like, we dropped in and had a look at them. They're really, really good. And especially if you wanted to bring a boat and pitch up somewhere for a while, those would be great. But if you're not doing it with a boat and you just want to bush camp, some of these places, like, look at this. It's unreal. It's free, it's beautiful. I mean, we've had a couple of neighbours roll in since we've been here, but when we first rocked up, there was one other person on the beach and they were way down the other end, so can't really beat it. Sad to be going home. So that concludes the trip of a lifetime. Thank you so much to all of you who have stuck around and followed our Cape trip. If you're new here, please drop me a like and a subscribe, it would mean a lot, and we've got some big things on the way. Lakefield, the Gulf Country, and the Northern Territory, just to name a few.